in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Is it possible to learn this power?
Not from a Jedi.
What is up, guys? Kid Critic is back with another video, and this video is another Star Wars review. That is right, because like I said in my Attack of the Clones review, and like I said in my Phantom Menace review, I'll be reviewing each Star Wars movie in a timeline order up to the release of The Rise of Skywalker. So here we are today. You're gonna watch me review Star Wars Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith. That is right, folks, the movie that all Star Wars fans thought this is the last Star Wars film we're ever gonna have. Well, that never ended up happening. But anyways, we are here to review Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which is also directed by George Lucas once again, and also stars Hayden Christensen and Natalie Portman and Ewan McGregor and Yoda and Sam Jackson and Ian McDermott and yada yada yada. And this movie's about...
It has been 3 years since the Clone Wars began, and Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi and Jedi Knight Anakin Skywalker go to rescue Chancellor Palpatine from the evil General Grievous, the commander of the Droid armies, but Grievous escapes. Then suspicions are raised within the Jedi Council concerning the Chancellor, with whom Anakin has formed a bond with, and Anakin is asked to spy on the Chancellor, and full of bitterness toward the Jedi Council, Anakin embraces the dark side.
Alright, now with all that out of the way, Joker! Start this review for us.
And here we go.
So, like, in my Phantom Menace review, if you saw that, I just don't like that movie at all. I mean, I actually dislike that movie even more than I did before. And Attack of the Clones, even though it's still a bad movie, actually had some entertainment in that film. So I'm like, you know what? It's not as bad as I remembered. So Revenge of the Sith, I gotta be honest, I actually always enjoyed Revenge of the Sith. And rewatching it again, I still enjoy Revenge of the Sith. And look, Revenge of the Sith, to me, at least in my opinion, look, there's some dark moments into the Star Wars franchise, like Empire, like Rogue One. But Revenge of the Sith, in my opinion, is the darkest Star Wars film that we've had. I mean, just the way it ends. I mean, there's no happy ending to this movie. There's no happy ending in this film. You see younglings get murdered in this film. This movie is dark, and I enjoyed it. Alright, now let's get into some of the performances of this film. And obviously, Ian McDermott as the Palps. He is awesome. Definitely one of the big standouts. Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan. I mean, this just makes me more excited to see... This movie makes me more excited to see Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan back in the Obi-Wan series. I'm very excited for that. And yes, I mean, Ewan McGregor is awesome. Hayden Christensen, you know, I mean, again, he's just a whiny brat. He really is. And I think that's one of the errors of Revenge of the Sith, is that it's very hard to believe that this whiny brat child, who feels more like a child now than he did in Phantom Menace, it's hard to believe that this guy turns into Darth Vader. And by the end of the movie, you're like, it doesn't feel like Darth Vader. It doesn't feel like that all-powerful, ruthless, merciless Darth Vader that you meet in A New Hope. It just does not feel that, and I think that's definitely one of the biggest flaws of this movie. And then obviously Sam Jackson as Mace Windu is really good. Natalie Portman, I mean, I don't really care much about the Padme character. I don't, but I mean, sure. I mean, Natalie Portman's an awesome actress, but it's just that Padme was just written god-awfully in this movie. Actually, no, not just in this movie, but the entire prequel saga. Now, look, I touched on this a little bit in Phantom Menace, and I didn't really talk about it in Attack of the Clones. However, the effects do not hold up. They just do not hold up. To the point where it doesn't look very good. I mean, don't get me wrong, the action is still very entertaining, because overall, I think Revenge of the Sith is a very entertaining Star Wars movie. I mean, the lightsaber action's obviously great, but I think there's a lot of parts in this movie where the effects are not good. And the ending for Revenge of the Sith, I thought was a perfect ending for this prequel saga, whether you like the movies or not. I mean, I strongly dislike Phantom Menace, don't like Attack the Clones and obviously enjoy Revenge of the Sith. But even though I dislike the first two movies, I still think this is a great ending to the prequel saga. And once again, John Williams' score. Oh, it is so good. I mean, obviously when Anakin and Obi-Wan are fighting, with Palps and Yoda are fighting, and then the very end, and then with Order 66 and all that's going down, it makes you really feel the gut punch that Yoda felt when the Jedis were all dying. And his score is once again utterly fantastic, as every John Williams score is. And look, overall, I enjoy this movie. It's a very fun Star Wars film. The lightsaber action is better than ever. I mean, between the Anakin and Obi-Wan fight between Yoda and Palps, Yoda is amazing in this movie, by the way. And then, yes, this film has its flaws. The Padme and Anakin stuff, it's still just utter garbage. The Anakin character is still a whiny brat, and it's very hard to believe that this character turns into Darth Vader, which is the whole point of this prequel saga. So it definitely fails there, and the effects don't hold up very much. However, like I said before, the action is fun. The scene between Palpatine and Anakin where he's talking about Plagueis is probably one of my favorite scenes in this movie. And there's obviously the Order 66 sequence, which is probably one of the best sequences in all of Star Wars. Not the best sequence, but it's definitely top 10 category is that Order 66 sequence. I just really enjoyed like the darkness of this movie, because like once again, The Revenge of the Sith is easily, in my opinion, the darkest Star Wars film we have ever had. And look, I am going to give Star Wars Revenge of the Sith a 3.5 out of 5 Fernies. Again, I dug this movie. I really did. It's a fun Star Wars flick, and for what it is, I mean, by this point, you should accept that Anakin's a whiny brat. But for what it is, I enjoy this movie. There's some really good stuff in it. Yes, there's some really bad stuff in it, but there's also some really good stuff in it that I would go see this movie again, as I've had before in the past already. So with that said, tell me down in the comment section below, what did you think of Star Wars Episode 3, The Revenge of the Sith? Have you ever seen it? Do you not care to see it? Do you know why you're watching this? I don't know, just tell me what you think about this movie, because conversation is awesome. And don't forget to like and subscribe, because that is very important. And as always, in every single Kid Critic video, look out for the next video or review. And peace.